You working?
Yep.
Okay, welcome everybody. We'll call this meeting to order. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll go ahead and get started. Our mission statement. We recite that each meeting. Excellence in education, preparation for life. Note that all members are in attendance. Before we get to the public comments section here, I have a quick civics lesson for all of us. Sometimes it's good to review. This meeting of the Prairie Heights School Board is conducted following the Indiana State Code, referred to as Indiana Open Door Law. There are provisions for public comment, which we'll do here in a little bit, which will have a few minutes following that the public comment section will be closed after that. And then we will conduct our business. Public education in Indiana is considered an extension of the Indiana State Legislature. Think of it as an arm of the Indiana House of Representatives and the Indiana State Senate. And we are not an autonomous operation, and we do not operate in a bubble. It'd be nice if we did sometimes, but we don't. We have to do the things that the people in Indianapolis enact as law. This includes everything from transparency to accountability, all the way to funding. As I'm sure you are aware, the tide has turned over the past several years, and we are well on our way toward more incentive-type pay measures, different standards of accountability, and new ways of funding, often that require approval by the residents in this district before implementing. So it's not always fun. We can complain and criticize, and even mock these changes, but one thing that we must do if we are going to remain viable is embrace them. This is what I meant the other night when I said moving forward, we have to think of ways that benefit all parties, including those that foot the bill. Local school boards have the authority to set property tax rates for things like operations and referendums, if they are first approved by the voters. Prairie Heights did pass a referendum several years ago, specifically to put toward salaries and compensation packages. This referendum is set to expire next year, and I, for one, and I'm not speaking for anybody but me, take this responsibility very seriously. And before removing a dollar from someone's pocket in the form of taxes, I want to be sure that it'll be put to good use and there will be accountability measures attached. I do not think this is an unreasonable expectation. I do recognize the struggles and the challenges that public education is facing, most often brought on by the apparent changing society. As an outsider looking in and having many conversations with teachers within this district, I can see that doing things the way we've done them in the past are going to be harder to do and become less effective. I have a great appreciation for what teachers do and the training that they bring to the classroom with their expertise. I also know that our administrators are held to an increasingly higher standard and more accountability, but yet they are not always given the tools necessary to do their job to the best of their ability. More and more they have to lead with increasing precision, but yet are left with only a broad brush from which to work. As for the specifics of the most recent negotiations process, I cannot and will not respond to the claims that have been thrown around. Both parties are actually held to a standard of ethics and in many cases legality to not discuss the process during or even after. Unfortunately, that's not always happened to the same degree by both parties. The only problem with that, it does embolden a lot of keyboard warriors, and they are able to toss around destructive and toxic accusations. As to the example the other evening about increasing the amount the increasing amount of sick and personal days taken. First of all, it is only one example of many things that could be addressed in the form of a performance measure. And secondly, I remember even as far back as 2 superintendents ago discussing this. I think it was 18 years. And quite honestly, it's only escalated in that time period. The complexities that our public school system faces have solutions that look very differently from elementary to the high school level. Currently, our administrators are faced in too many instances with a one-size-fits-all approach. I know that these ideas are not necessarily popular to say, but we must face these difficult truths together. We have to be willing and able to discuss these matters openly and honestly if we're going to adhere to our mission statement, excellence in education, preparation for life. So I understand that there's some teachers here that want to respond, and so I only ask that since you are currently represented and bargain collectively, that you simply speak with one voice. And we do have, I did take the time to review the public policy for the petition for the public comment section. And we've done this at other meetings at the county level, Mr. Surveyor. And so this is not new, but we've not necessarily implemented it. So I only request that you state your name and address, and also if you are being represented by a group. And also, I didn't know this, to look at this, but we do limit comments to 3 minutes or so. It could be less, but not advised to be more. Is there other public comment?
Nope, that covers it.
Okay, so if there's one representative from the teachers,
I'm
Now's
not
your chance.
representing the teachers, I'm representing myself. So I don't want to speak for everyone else, I want to speak for myself, okay? And I knew the 3-minute rule.
okay.
So
Ms.
I'm
Snyder?
prepared, it's not going to be 3 minutes. Deb Snyder,
Yep, thank you.
my address is not in the district I teach here, so my address is not important to everyone else. I prefer not to give out my address. Is that okay?
I suppose.
Okay.
It is
If not, I
possible.
will, but I prefer not to. Okay. Hello, everyone. My purpose for speaking tonight is to clear up some misconceptions and to ask my fellow speakers to be positive in their remarks and kind to their fellow Prairie Heights community members. First, I want to say that I'm not an eloquent speaker, so please bear with me. I want to also say that the board was correct in their refusal to let me speak at the last meeting. The public comments time had already passed, and I like to follow procedures too. Just ask my second graders. A few comments were made that left me dumbstruck, heartbroken, and a little bit mad. I know they were intended as a generalization, but they cut deep. I'm a member of the bargaining team for the teachers. I have never felt that I needed to win, but I've always felt it is my responsibility to get the best possible outcome for the teachers while also being mindful of the corporation's position. Negotiations are always tough for everyone. As I have taught all of my students, you must talk with one another to come up with a plan that everyone is okay supporting. I did not feel that we communicated well in this process for our last contracts. The teachers did get more than I thought we would, but I was excited that PH continues to provide a competitive wage that allows teachers to provide for their families and their classrooms. As a side note, when my boys were little, they always had to ask, is this for us? Is this for your school kids? My second discussion point is absences. As in any organization, people need to miss days. The days I miss are days I have earned. I do not take my absence from my classroom lightly. I know that I can be replaced in a heartbeat. But while your children are in my classroom, I will make sure they are loved, cared for, taught, and feel that they are important. I was discouraged that the dollar amount was inflated. I know it is upsetting to have people out, but please break down your figures and bring this information to our monthly meetings where it should have been discussed. Finally, I ask that everyone remember we are all here for the same reason, our kids. So let's agree it is best for everyone for this to end tonight.
Thank you. Are there others?
Yes, I'd like to say something. Casey Wilhelm, I don't want to give out my address either. I am here for myself and as a parent, not just a staff member. My name is Casey Wilhelm. I am a first grade teacher. I started here at Prairie Heights as a substitute teacher as my children came here. I enjoyed being back in the classroom at school and switched my degree from an early childhood degree to an elementary education degree. Since then, our oldest graduated, attends Trine, and we have a senior currently. Both students who have been very successful at Prairie Heights. This could not have been possible without the staff here at PH. In every school on this campus, there are teachers who took time out of their busy schedules, not only within the classroom, but to support our own children outside of the classroom. Prairie Heights has a staff that goes above and beyond. 2 years ago, my husband had an unexpected seizure. The seizure was a result of an astrocytoma, an incurable brain cancer. Our lives were flipped upside down. When I met with administration and staff here at the school, there was nothing but a way to be supportive and ask what I could do. To this day, they support us in every way. The last 2 years, I have had to use all of my personal and sick days to help take care of and transport my husband, but also be a mom to my own children. I will forever be thankful for the staff here at PH. They are my support when I needed to borrow from the sick bank when I didn't want to. They were the ones that talked me into it. Prior to last school year, I had saved up enough days in 4 years to use without loss of pay because I wanted to be in class. If you ask the majority of the staff sitting here, it is so much easier to be present in a classroom than to have to make lesson plans. Unfortunately, we as teachers tend to put our classrooms first. However, family is first. And sadly, as a teacher, our families tend to be put on a back burner. With that being said, our families at PH have been nothing but supportive. They send us messages, cards, well wishes weekly, letting our family know that we are supported. In turn, as a teacher, I enjoy not only being in the classroom and school on a daily basis, but rather supporting the children here at PH through all their extracurricular activities, such as sports, plays, and dance. Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts tonight. While at IU this past week, staying with my husband for 5 days, I came across a quote I think that everybody could live by. It's called "Live by your wake." Think of a boat crossing the lake. Then the wake of that boat affects everything it touches and moves away from that boat. The words and actions you use to choose can affect everyone that it sees and hears and touches. The staff at PH is 1 in a million, and I am proud to teach alongside all staff, and that's what makes the school system so special. I thank you, and please remember to live by your wake.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I have a comment. My name is Grace Newell. I live at 735 Lane 101 Lake of the Woods. Good evening. For those unaware, my name is Grace Newell and I'm a proud second grade teacher. Before I begin, I would like to direct this statement to the president of the school board. However, I would like to note that a statement was never shared by the remaining board members, so I am led to believe that you share the same sentiment. While overtly minimizing, one part of your statement has stuck with me. If I may, I would like to share a direct quote. I don't know that it's necessary, wise, or prudent that because we have extra money to give it out with nothing in return. Just 2 years into my career, I have watched as teachers work through miscarriages. I've watched as teachers work through cancer, going to get chemo at 6:30 in the morning, avoiding any time out of the classroom. Even when it is not in the teacher's best interest, we come to work for no reason other than the love and care we have for our students. When you enter this profession, you enter knowing that throughout the duration of your career, there will be long days that stretch into long nights, an abundance of stressful moments, and what seems like a never-ending to-do list. However, we enter happily despite knowing that ultimately we give up our own time for the betterment of our students that we have. It is both unfortunate and disheartening to know that the school board views this work as, quote, nothing in return. Additionally, the school board explained that Prairie Heights paid $230,000 to substitute teachers last school year. When I taught 3rd grade, there were substitute teachers in our classrooms for 5 days straight. You might be wondering why. I'll tell you, because it certainly wasn't for personal days. When students didn't pass iRead on their first attempt, my team volunteered to have a substitute teach our classes while we retested students one-on-one. Typically, it is best for a teacher to be in the classroom as much as possible, but this situation was different. Most students who didn't pass iRead on their first attempt passed with flying colors when tested one-on-one. Why did we choose to do this? For our students. For the past 4 Thursdays, my class has had a substitute teacher. Again, why? I volunteered to get additional training to better my phonics instruction in the classroom. Why did I choose this? For my students. Again, speaking directly to the president of the school board, broadcasting this number to the public leads our community members to believe that teachers are taking days left and right for no reason, when this is incredibly misleading and untrue. I, like other teachers at Prairie Heights and across the country, love this profession. Clearly not because of the pay, but because of the love we have for our students and the desire we have to help them succeed. Going forward, rather than viewing this money as stipends and raises, I encourage the entire school board to view it as back pay for all the extra time, money, resources, and most importantly, pieces of ourselves that we have and will continue to give happily to our students.
Thank you.
I have something. First, I have a letter from Carrie Allen that she would like me to read, so I'm going to read that first. Hi, this is Carrie Allen. I'm a fifth grade teacher, and I've proudly taught at Prairie Heights for 31 years. I would have liked to attend the meeting tonight, but I'm currently at the sports rally with nearly 100 middle school students. If you're wondering what a sports rally is, it's an opportunity for students to stay after school, enjoy time with staff and friends, and attend a middle school sporting event. Several staff members and I organize the event and volunteer our time to supervise, feed, and entertain the students before taking them to the boys' 7th and 8th grade basketball game. We're here cheering on the Panthers. For some students, this may be their only chance to attend a school sporting event. As I mentioned, the staff and I volunteer our time to help supervise and organize this activity. This is just one of the examples of how our staff consistently goes above and beyond their regular teaching duties. In the coming weeks, our middle school staff will also begin preparing for the annual cake raffle. Staff members donate their own time and money to bake or buy cakes for the event, and the funds raised help provide food for the Christmas food drive. Shortly after Thanksgiving, both staff and students donate food items, and once again, our staff is the driving force behind its success. They bring in countless hours and do whatever they need to support Prairie Heights families. These are only a few of the many ways our staff goes the extra mile for our school community. A few weeks ago, I was grateful to hear that teachers would be receiving raises this year. Many of us endured very lean years when Prairie Heights was unable to offer raises for an entire decade. It was encouraging to feel appreciated. That's why it was disheartening to hear the comments suggesting that our raise was a win for the teachers but a loss for the school, or the school was receiving nothing in return. Those remarks hurt. They made me think of the countless hours teachers and staff willingly invest, far beyond what is required. We don't ask much. These raises were a small acknowledgement of our many years of hard work, love, and dedication. I hope that moving forward, the extra time and care we consistently give will be better recognized and appreciated. Thank you for listening, and thank you to Mrs. Nichols for reading this letter on my behalf. Right now, I'm cheering on the boys basketball team and hoping Prairie Heights brings home a win. And now what I want to say. This facility is in the business of growing productive citizens and community members. Teachers are the cornerstone of every occupation. Our attitude and the love of our job will be the fire that ignites or extinguishes a love of learning. I began my teaching career at the young age of 22, and even then I knew that what I would be doing would have a trickle-down effect, that it would eventually outlive me and become my legacy. So what's the corporation's return on me after 34 years of employment? I've received the Touchstone Energy Powerful Connection Award, the DECO Foundation Award for Excellence. I've been Teacher of the Year twice, 2 times. I've mentored countless other teachers. I was the Special Education Department Chair, and I've had some of the highest I-Learn scores of any teacher in the middle school. That has been your return on me. So what has my return been over the course of my 34 years of employment? My return has been the privilege of raising hundreds of children. I've cooked for them, I've fed them, I've mentored them, I've loved them, I've clothed them, I've cried with them and for them. I've fought with them, I've grieved with them, and then I educated them. I've had countless invitations to baby and bridal showers, weddings and graduation, the request of my name to be added to the visitation log at the Angola and the LaGrange County Jail, late night phone calls from hospitals because a sweet baby's been born, and they knew that I would want to rush up and hold their most treasured gift. Last month, I received a phone call from a student that graduated 6 years ago. He wanted to tell me about the woman that he met and what she means to him. And on one of the most important days of his life, he couldn't see that happening without me being involved. So he asked me to marry them. This will be the 3rd wedding that I will perform for a former student. That's my return, raising hundreds of children. For 11 years, I didn't receive a raise, but I stayed. Me staying and not going to another district that paid more was your return. What was the cost to me? I waitressed for many years after finishing my teaching job. I taught summer school for over a decade, not only here, but in Angola. I worked with a special education cooperative. I caught the bus at the high school during migrant season and walked the fields with Prairie Heights students. For decades, I've been a homebound instructor, something that I am currently doing right now. And every time I see this student, I send her home with a bag of food that I paid for. Having a second job for nearly 34 years doesn't make me any different than any of the other teachers here. So what was the short-term cost to me working multiple jobs for 3 decades? The cost was missing decades of summers with my own babies, making sweet memories with them, missing part of practice or part of games because of homebound or conferences, family mealtime, and just the presence of me being with them. Your return has been my expense. I've come to work every day for 34 years and I've chosen to make a difference in all the lives of my students. I know why I'm here. I know why I stayed, and every administrator and superintendent that I've ever had in the last 34 years also knows why I'm here. Teaching and being a teacher is who I am. I could have gone anywhere and taught, but I chose Prairie Heights. I chose to stay here year after year through years of hopeless finances. I stayed, I chose this community, and I chose my students over my own family and our financial growth. And just to put a fine point on the cost of me being dedicated to this community, this is my copy from Travis Schumann on my pension. If I work 3 more years, I will have had 37 years of service and roughly make $1,800 before taxes. And before I have to find an insurance policy. That's $21,600 a year for 37 years of service and a master's degree with 13 hours towards my doctoral degree. So at what point will your return be greater than my cost?
Thank you. Anybody else?
Stephanie Gorman, 10640 East, 100 South, LaGrange. 15 years, I've been called to follow my grandmother's footsteps and teach. I teach because I feel that I make impact on lives. I'm reminded of this every day when I see the smiling faces in every classroom, emails sent from prior students, or the hellos at sporting events. These students will forever be considered a part of my life. It gave me purpose when life didn't seem so fulfilling. And each day when it was hard to get going, they needed me. Over time, I realized I needed them. Being a teacher is not my career, but who I am. It's part of my purpose.
Thank you. Are we winding down? Anybody else? Going once, going twice. State your name, please.
Zach Polster, 83-5 East, 300 North, Howell, Indiana. I'm forgetting my address. Listen tonight, I know people on the board, I know people that taught me here. I don't have any kids in the school district. I'm not a teacher. I'm a taxpayer in the county. I appreciate all the work teachers do. I want people to understand as well, this board represents us as a taxpayer as well. And not saying you guys deserve the money, but bear in mind that's a pretty big cost for everybody to pay me up. Referendum was passed years ago, I was in support of it. Glad to see the teachers pay being raised up. My concern is how much to get raised up and how much burden is on the school board or the taxpayer have to pay it. So bear in mind when all the work's appreciated, bear in mind it comes at a pretty high cost. 2% of my income, my salary is my property taxes, so it don't sound like much, but it's still a lot. So when you get the raises, you guys, even more than you thought you were gonna get, appreciate them because it's paid for by people like me out there who don't be in a school district. I don't work here. I don't benefit a lot from teacher raises going up except keeping good staff. So I just wish everybody be appreciative of it and don't get, I don't think, accustomed, depending on what comes in the next couple of years with taxes, how sustainable is possible. We're in a good position. I think the board really wants to keep us in a good position and know that each year we may not have this, but it was a good year for teachers' income, salaries. That's good. But just bear in mind that it does come at a high cost to John Doe taxpayer.
Thank you. One more.
Hi, my name is Brittany Johnson. I live on Lake Gage. I'm a keyboard warrior. I'm speaking as a parent and nothing more at this point. Every single staff member in this room, administration included, has impacted all 3 of my children in a way that I cannot even begin to explain to anybody sitting in front of me right now. I am forever grateful for everything that they've poured into my children. They loved my kids. They nurtured my kids. They gave my kids, Jeremy Swander, gave my kids tough love when they needed it. And my kids are going to be productive members of society that are going to give back to this community in the next couple decades. I maintain what I said. I maintain that everybody in this room deserves far more than any school board would provide for any of these teachers. They are grossly underpaid as a whole, not just here at Craig Heights. But I'm very proud to be where I'm at. And I'm very proud that these are the people that are educating my children and helping to raise them right along with myself and my husband.
Thank you. Are we winding down?
I
Looks
did
like
this.
maybe so. Oh, one more.
Yeah. Allison Hall, sixth grade reading. I don't live in the district. But I think it's important to know that like we all do love our kids. We love all your kids too. So we appreciate everybody that keeps trying to support us, and we hope that you see that impact as well.
Thank you. Have we missed anybody? Tyler? Go ahead.
My name is Tyler Randall, 9435 East 750 South, Wolfville. You guys come see me anytime. I guess I'm just here as a dad, as a taxpayer, as an employee of the school. With things that's been occurring in the last week and a half, I just wanted to say that, Mr. Perkins, with your statements that you made, not everybody got offended by it. Not everybody took it the wrong way. I didn't see anything wrong with the statement. That's me personally. I look at it as what we're getting in return financially. We're putting a lot of money out. What do we get in return? That's the way I looked at it. I didn't look at it as slam as any teacher in this room is not doing their job, not caring for their kids, because I graduated from here. My kids go here. There's not a doubt in my room that everybody in this room doesn't give it 110% every day. That's why I'm here. That's why my kids are here. But to reference back to your statement, I hope that anybody that gave you backlash talked to you privately, phone call, because that's the way we need to handle things. If we have a disagreement, I think we need to stand toe-to-toe and dance before we get behind a computer and go to social media. That's my personal opinion. I've known Mr. Perkins all my life, and there's three things I think he's a man of: man of faith, man of family, and man of community. And Mr. Perkins, I will never question anything you ever say. And I wish a lot of people would give him a little bit of leeway on this one, because I think some stuff got taken out of place that wasn't met. His wife has been a teacher for many years. Mr. Perkins has been a member of this community, served on many boards. Many more boards than any of us probably ever have served on or ever will serve on. And I think that kind of position comes with a lot of respect that we need to give him. And same with you, everybody on that board. You're in a position where we need to respect him. And one last thing, 2 words for the board as far as an employee: thank you. I worked in a previous employment place for 10 years. In those 10 years, I never received a raise that this school corporation is receiving right now in 10 years. I think you guys have went above and beyond, been very gracious, and I thank you as an employee. I think my family thanks you, because in the world we're in right now, every dollar counts. And I just want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. If I had my preference, we didn't there. Anybody else have anything? Going once, twice, public comments are closed. The fun is over. We will go on to consent items. Approval of minutes. We got the minutes in our board packet. Any questions, comments, concerns, corrections? Okay, how about approval of October 25 and November 10 payroll and November claims? Hopefully everybody got a chance to look through those. Any questions for Christine or Mr. Reed? Personnel, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, new hires tonight. I'd like to recommend Michelle Dieter, elementary paraprofessional, part-time. Emma Temple, elementary paraprofessional, part-time. Brittany Wilkinson, elementary paraprofessional. Megan Jacoby, elementary paraprofessional. Randy Rathburn, varsity boys track assistant coach. Zeke Rowden, varsity wrestling assistant coach as a volunteer. And Coy Blodgett, middle school assistant wrestling coach. A couple of resignations: Geneva Lepley, elementary school paraprofessional. Teresa Knoll, corporation permanent sub. and Jennifer Sears, our part-time nurse.
Okay. Questions, comments, personnel? A motion to approve consent items.
Motion.
Jamie,
Second.
Aaron? Any further discussion? No, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Action items, recommendation to authorize the district to dispose of, discard, or sell obsolete furniture and equipment from the middle school.
Yeah, as you guys know, the first part of our bond project we're doing is replacing some furniture at the middle school, and part of that process is we have to get rid of the old furniture. So haven't totally figured out how we're going to do that yet, but this line item here allows for lots of different ways for us to dispose of that. We are going to offer up whatever we're getting rid of to the public. Obviously, we're not selling anything. We're not trying to make any money. But if people want to come in and grab some of the things we're getting rid of, we're going to post about that and make a day available. People can do that. So just asking for your permission to let us go ahead and figure out how to get rid of that.
Motion? Heather? Jessica? Further discussion? Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Okay, item. Mr. Reed, superintendent comments.
Yeah, just while we're talking about the bond project, update on the financing part of it. That's about the only highlight we have right now. About 2 weeks ago, we had our interview with the S&P to get our credit rating for this project. So basically what they do is they Zoom with us and grill us for about 90 minutes on our business practices. And I just want to credit Christine for that. She was more than prepared for that and knocked it out of the park. We got our credit rating, which is a AA minus. Which I think we were in 24. There's only 4 other school districts in the state above that. So says that we're kind of doing things right around here. So appreciate Christine's effort in doing that. Our bond sale was today. I have not had a chance to read through all the emails on that, but from what I've heard, it went really well. Pretty good for us. So I'll get you more details on that when I have time to take a look at that. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to end with this. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't have to work here. I choose to work here. And I choose to work here. I've made Prairie Heights my home away from home for the last 19 years because of the people I get to work with. Okay. And I'll start with our board members. I've had the privilege of working with 12 different board members in my 12 years as superintendent. And I will tell you that all of them have had the best interest of our school. They care about what happens here and they care about our kids, including the guy on my left who has been a part of some pretty significant accomplishments and have supported those accomplishments over the years. That doesn't mean that I agree and defend everything that they say and do. And at the same time, they don't agree with everything that I've said and done over the years as well. But we've been pretty fortunate to have pretty good board members here over the years. The main reason I choose to work here is because of our people, our support staff, and our teachers that I get to work with every day. I see the work that you do every day. I know the challenges that you face. I know your jobs are not easy. Every year at the beginning of the year, I write on your notepads, thank you for being here. And I sincerely mean that. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate what you do. And I appreciate all the work, all the sacrifices that you make to help our students be successful. And I want to kind of echo Deb's comments as I'm boring her to death right now. She's yawning at me. I want to echo her comments. I hope this ends here tonight. We need to move on and get back and do what we do because there's kids that count on us. So again, thank you for being here. And I mean that. So that's all I have.
Anybody else? Going twice? Okay, Justin.
First of all, thanks to everyone that's here. It shows all the way throughout the room, tons of passion about this community, about our students, and about each other. And so I want to start off by saying that. There were a few things that were said that I want to make sure get clarified. The comment that was made was not, Todd was not speaking, Mr. Perkins was not speaking on behalf of the board. It was his comment that he made, and he clarified that tonight. So that came up again with the assumption of, the board said nothing, and so there was a lack of a response. The perception I heard said tonight was that the perception is assumed to be that everyone agreed with that. That was an assumption. That is not an accurate statement. So I want to make sure that we're clear about that. There are times that there were people here that may have agreed with that or may not have agreed with that. So I just want to make sure we're clear about that. It was unexpected, so there wasn't any prior discussion about the communication that was gonna take place, so it was unexpected. There were some things stated that caused some confusion that some people weren't clear about, and it would be very unprofessional to comment on something like that without taking some time to think through it. So I hope that it helps clear up that. To Tyler's point about social media, I also want to make sure that we clarify that it is not board practice for us to engage in social media. And if there are concerns or questions, we ask that you reach out to us directly and have direct communication. All of our emails are on the website. Those of you that did reach out to me, either by email, by a text, by a call, by a visit, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So I did want to just, mention that, and Tyler, I appreciate you bringing that up. But we continue to remain available to all of our constituents, and we need to hear that. And we're all different people. We all have different backgrounds, which is a good thing. You don't want all of the same people serving the school. So there's a reason that there's differences. So please reach out if you have that. I don't know anybody that has never responded to someone that's reached out. And if you have a problem with that, then let Mr. Reed know. I personally believe it is important to take time off. As some wellness and health coaching that I do, and what I see from people in this world that do not take their time off to take care of the things that they need to, it causes issues for them as people, and it causes issues for their organizations in the long run. Again, it's time they've earned off. I do have a different opinion about people that may be taking time off that they have not earned, or they're abusing it in some way. So I want to make sure that you understand, I want you to take the time off that you need to handle the things that you need, so that when you show up here, that you are equipped and you are the best version of yourself. Because you have to be the best version of yourself so you can lead these students, and so that our school corporation can be a leader as well. I do want to thank you. What you do is hard. No doubt. I've spent some time in some of your classrooms. It's hard. I wouldn't want that job. I definitely wouldn't want that job. So I see you. I do see the challenges that you're facing in the classroom. Your efforts are recognized and appreciated. And you've heard that by Jeff as well, or Mr. Reed, sorry. It is my desire for us to continue to work together to support our staff, to support our school, to support our community and our students. But I also want you to appreciate and understand that this board has a responsibility to have fiduciary responsibility over making sure this school exists for a long time. And it's only my third year here, but this board and the people that Mr. Reed has talked about, they've done wonderful things financially to put this school in the position it's in. But we cannot be irresponsible with our position. And I mean that, and it doesn't take long. And for some of the things that Mr. Reed shared before we went into negotiations, and you saw where we were financially and how things have turned around, we're thankful. I'm thankful. I'm going to speak for myself. I'm thankful for where we are. So please appreciate us looking out for the best interest of this campus existing for a long time, for generations to come. Thank you very much for all you do and for being here.
Going once, twice, and else. Jamie?
I'd just like to say that Jesselyn basically verbatim, I could show you what I wrote down. It's about almost exactly the same as what you said. I had 0 people email me, which kind of surprised me. I mean, look at the turnout tonight. Please, if you have a problem, reach out. That's part of what we're here to do. Problems can't get solved without communication. And I'm not going to post on social media. That's not, I agree. I don't think that's the correct way for a school board member to approach the issue. But I do appreciate you. I mean, most of the teachers who are here are friends of mine. So I think they know that I appreciate what they do. And like Tyler said, please reach out.
You have anything else?
No, I'm done.
Good, meeting adjourned at 6:42. Thanks for coming.
Dan, what does that mean?
People all over the place say 6'7", it's a thing that the teenagers are 6'7". My kids were doing it in the classroom, and it's driving me nuts. So I told them they weren't allowed to do it. So this is the 67th day of school. So this is the one day that they could say 6'7" all day in my room. We did all these math activities and